Liverpool have a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and Jürgen Klopp and Michael Edwards must capitalise. Jürgen Klopp and Michael Edwards are planning for the future at Liverpool, but they must also not forget to focus on the present. The composition of Liverpool's squad is a much-spoken about conundrum. Should Liverpool move on Sadio Mane and attempt to find a younger model? Is it time to begin to phase out Roberto Firmino? Even Mohamed Salah has been put forward as someone who would demand a huge fee which could then be reinvested, even though it is just not that simple. What cannot be denied, though, is that all three of Liverpool's forwards are edging closer to turning 30. Salah celebrated his 29th birthday this week, Mane did likewise in April, and Firmino is the first to turn 30 later this year, in October. In midfield, Jordan Henderson is already 31 and Thiago Alcantara turned 30 in April. There is a pretty good chance that Gini Wijnaldum being allowed to leave on a free transfer was a decision based largely on the fact he turns 31 in November. In defense, Liverpool have Joe Gomez and Ibrahima Konate as they look to the future, but Virgil van Dijk turns 30 next month. A look to the future is vital, and a gradual process must take place to see the average age of the squad brought down over the next few transfer windows. But at the same time, Liverpool's key players are in the peak of their careers, and that should not be forgotten. Mane looked shattered at times last season and Firmino has played a lot of football, but every single one of the players listed above. Wijnaldum included, could reasonably still be at the peak of their powers next season. It is not even as though, should Liverpool even want to move one or two on and replace them with younger versions, they would be able to. With the impact of the pandemic being felt keenly across the continent, finding buyers for those stars who could attract the big fees would be impossible. Even some of the bigger clubs abroad have felt the impact of the pandemic more than the top English clubs. So some of the obvious destinations are just not possible anymore, said James Martin on the latest Liverpool.com podcast. Barcelona are looking to hoover up free agents and Real Madrid are not in a position to assemble another squad of Galacticos. So as long as you're in a position to fend off maybe PSG and Bayern Munich, then no one is going anywhere. Liverpool will not sell anyone to a domestic rival and there are very limited places for these top players to go. Maybe in a non-pandemic year you might have looked to move one of the front three on and refresh the squad with a Jadon Sancho. But those plans have been shelved, if ever they existed. The broad reality for anybody looking at a move elsewhere this summer is that if you are at Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City or Man United this summer, there is not a lot of places you can go, Dan Morgan outlined. It's also not unrealistic to think that players like Mane could come back next season and have another peak season. 29 is peak age and we should not forget that. Liverpool should be enjoying the fruits of these players at their best age. If they are going to keep all of the top players and think about contracts later. The priority for everyone should be to maximize this moment and get the best out of the best years of their careers here. That is, most definitely, the mindset that Jürgen Klopp will be taking as well, Martin added. He is not one to concern himself with looking ahead to them being out of contract and then phasing them out. Just look at how he handled the Wijnaldum situation.